Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, I'm so very grateful to Dr. Aleem for inviting me here. About 7 years ago, I think in one of the earliest congresses, I happened to walk in and get a chance to speak in front of this remarkable man. And I mean that. I don't mean it because of the lunch and the cookies, which were nice also. And then a chap called Farhad Bayati is a friend of mine, and I happened to be talking to him, and he said, you should really go and attend the Aleem Business Congress. So very grateful to you, sir, for the opportunity. A couple of other thanks. You know, the staff you have some magic going on over there. You know, I want to pick out people like Karen and Latif and even this young lady here, Tara. It's very difficult. You know, all this. I have to confess, I turned 50 this year, and as a treat to myself, I joined Facebook. So to all my friends over there in the back who spin the great virtues of the internet and the social media, I'm a bit of a late convert. Okay, so I still go by human interaction, and the human interaction element of your organization, of the people, is remarkable. And no website, no metrics, nothing of that can match it. And so that's my opinion. So what am I going to talk about? I thought to myself, oh, there are a bunch of people, all these people who are experts at marketing and business and branding and sales and all of those things. Now, fortunately, I have done some of that. I have a degree in economics, but I joined then one of the preeminent companies in sales, a company called Xerox. One of my colleagues was here earlier in the morning, who also presented, a former colleague of mine. And Xerox, you know, is one of those companies that not many people know actually invented the Ethernet cable. Without Xerox, there would be no internet. Now, how many people know that Xerox invented the Ethernet cable? Xerox also invented the graphical user interface and the mouse, the actual device called the mouse. But unfortunately, they now are referred to in all management textbooks under the heading management myopia, short-sightedness. Xerox thought it was a copier company, and you know, these are all just silly things that the engineers came up with, and they never monetized it. And here you have Bill Gates and Mr. Jobs, who both found all their ideas at Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center, where they walked in and said, what are you guys going to do with this? And they said, nothing, we're a copier company. They said, oh, thank you very much, we'll have that. And that's how they became great. So, so the thread that I kind of want to weave in the next 10 minutes is family businesses. A lot of people think that family businesses are somewhat unique to the Middle East. And I did some research. I do not have a PowerPoint presentation, I have notes scribbled. But I was astonished to find out that family firms account for 2/3 of all businesses around the world. An estimated 70 to 90% of global GDP annually created by family businesses. Between 50 and 80% of all jobs in the majority of countries is from family businesses. 85% of startup companies get their startup funding from their family. And contrary to a popular image that modern large corporations, the Ciscos and the IBMs of the world, you know, are run by professional managers, many of the world's best firms continue to be controlled by families. Now, that's one data point I want to share with you. Okay, so not many people think that 60 to 80% or 66 to 70% of the world's companies are actually family held, but that's the truth. However, there is another challenge that comes along with it. Statistically, only 70% of companies successfully transition from the founder to the next generation, and even less to the third generation. 90% of companies actually go bust by the time the grandchild is alive to run it. So these two themes, park that in your thoughts, right? But at the same time, one of my friends here, the doctor, the Ajman University gentleman, made a comment about we are all brands. And that's an insightful point. We are indeed our own brand, right? So I asked myself the question, which is the longest running brand on earth? Any guesses? But I won't do this as a quiz. I'll answer the question. It's the imperial dynasty of Japan. The Yamato family, the dynasty, has been in power for 2,676 years. And the current emperor is the 125th emperor of that family to rule Japan, right? If you look closer home, you have the Al Sauds who are 300 years, and you have the British royal family, which is 475 years, you know, and you've got the family of a little country called Liechtenstein, which is all of 37,000 people, small little emirate in you know, bordering Switzerland and Austria. They've been running themselves, one family, for over 450 years.